not everything that Falco is able to get out of up tilt is particularly true, leaving there to be some mix-up room between the neutral Bs out of the up tilt and up airs and whatnot. But right now, you just see him getting started so much with the drag down, the rising into the drag down forward air, up tilt into up air, and right there, just as I mentioned before, the up air into forward air not connecting because ZeroTwoNone is able to press the neutral B in time. Fantastic DI from Steelix. Of course, if you DI in on Zelda's down throw, that will connect to her back air. Forward air is it giving Zelda a free 30%. And I'm surprised just how active that neutral B is. Still able to intercept Steelix's side B. But wow, I love that. Steelix had the lead. Steelix was so confident in it. But just slightly missed on the execution, and ZeroTwoNone able to get the whiff punish for it. But right now, ZeroTwoNone has Steelix in the corner, a surprising change in momentum. The side being an ultimate, not crossing up on shield, just stopping right there halfway through. And right now, like, again, like, ZeroTwoNone's getting phenomenal extra credit here. Maybe trying to lead the drop down with the up air, regardless, getting away with it. Ooh, great back throw, just setting up one of Zelda's, like, particularly spooky ledge trap scenarios. ZeroTwoNone going with the beefy up B, trying to lead, maybe trying to lead him dropping shield there. But right now, you just see Steelix needs to find a way to close out the stock. I believe an up tilt can confirm into a back air or something. Don't quote me quite on that. Great use of the neutral B to stop the Phantom preemptively in the F smash, killing off Steelix. So right now, Steelix needs to get the stock ASAP, or else this is going to be looking like a very dominating game one for ZeroTwoNone. And the forward air, wow, the last hit of it almost killed it. But that down air trading with the beefy up B, that's definitely something to look out for on ZeroTwoNone's part. But I feel like it wasn't a complete loss. He was able to get quite a bit of damage off of it right now. And ZeroTwoNone, you know, you see him start to play up a little bit more. You see him play a little bit more aggressively because he's thinking that, ooh, I think that was a little bit questionable up B. I think he felt like he got the hit, but there is a very distinct audio cue when Zelda does get the first hit of her up B. And right now, again, Steelix needs to be a little bit more patient on ZeroTwoNone's shield. Ooh, and I love that from ZeroTwoNone. He's super patient from using the Phantom because he knows Steelix is going to try to deflect that. If you do deflect Phantom, of course, the reward there is phenomenal. It'll kill you super early. But again, the risk there is just as great, especially when you are at kill percent at ledge against Phantom, which has a very considerable bit of set knockback on it. Going into game 2, I feel like Steelix has to bait out these neutral Bs from Zelda. That is usually the game plan against Zelda. It's unless your character has frame perfect, super tight combos on you know, a character like Zelda at that particular weight, everything you do is going to be a 50-50 between am I going to neutral B or am I going to make you think I'm going to do that and I'm going to land for free. But again, that it just brings up a whole new level of mix-ups in the matchup. And now we see Steelix opt for the Robin. Wow, and ZeroTwoNone going for the Robin ditto. ZeroTwoNone also playing a bit of Robin as well. And able to get 25% from the Arc Fire into Arc Fire. I don't think he had enough time to converge with an up air. But regardless, this is a very interesting ditto to watch, definitely. Because if either of them are at ledge, you know, they're going to be just getting so much mileage off of each other. And I do think that ZeroTwoNone definitely switched to Robin here as well, because he is not confident in the Zelda-Robin matchup whatsoever, in just like previous knowledge of just like hearing him talk about it or considering his set losses to Germ or Jewel. But I love the patience from Steelix. Usually you'd opt for the Arc Fire there, but maybe he was reading like a panic jump from ZeroTwoNone. Oh, excuse me, ZeroTwoNone is the one. Ugh, I completely mixed them up. My bad, guys. I love the back airs from ZeroTwoNone reading a jump in earlier. But right now, ooh, ZeroTwoNone using his own Arc Fire to counter Steelix's charge of neutral beam. in the back air more than enough to take out the stock. I don't know the names of the swords with Robin, so I'm going to say big, pointy, spiky, electrical sword was able to kill it off. Sorry, guys.
Levin sword.
Levin sword. And the other one is bronze sword?
Levin sword and shitty sword. I don't know.
Levin sword and shitty sword.
Yeah.
So that's what we'll call it for now. But right now, like, Steelix is doing a fantastic job of bringing this back after that first stock. And right now, this is very, very scary for ZeroTwoNone, but ZeroTwoNone retorting with his own arc fire. And even though that was a trade, it was really in ZeroTwoNone's favor because it was able to reset neutral. And so right now, like, Steelix is applying all of the shield pressure, but of course, forward air, it's not particularly the safest move on shield right now in the block. I'm sorry, this is a very, very entertaining dinner to commentate. Maybe trying to read a jump out of the shield. ZeroTwoNone definitely not trying to risk anything there, just sticking in shield. Though, had he gone with, like, maybe an F smash afterwards, that would have been enough to get the shield break. But Steelix jumping out in time and then re-grabbing accordingly. Steelix is able to, like, have the proper counterplay to the Robin ledge trapping here. So, you'll definitely see them not jump into anything. Very, very exciting, I think. That was almost a grab, but Robin's standing grab is not particularly fantastic, and it's some of the slowest grabs in the game. Oh my gosh, and the book able to knock him back off stage, putting him at disadvantage. I love both of these players' usages of arc fire to just, you know, to like keep each other out and make sure that they can't really ledge trap each other. It's very akin to how a Ness, for instance, might PK fire from above a little bit, or a Greninja might throw out a shuriken. So it's just forcing the opponent to shield and not focus on setting up on ledges they might like. Both of these players right now at drastically high percentages. ZeroTwoNone winning the battle of the footsies, able to get the forward air off, clutching out the stock. And I feel like Steelix needs to adapt to the fact that ZeroTwoNone is sitting in shield, but Steelix, you know, regardless, is able to get that forward air without losing any more percent. ZeroTwoNone, 56% from the Levin sword. So menacing. And you know what? I absolutely love ZeroTwoNone's usage of the Arc Fire to stop the Arc Thunder coming from Steelix. He's already done this, I believe, 3 times in the set already. So super, super, super good from ZeroTwoNone. Yeah, both of them making contact with each other. Whenever Arc Fire makes contact with anything that's not a hitbox, it will, of course, be dispelled. Anything that's not a hitbox or a surface, projectiles are, of course, in their entirety, are just moving hitboxes. And Steelix, both of them going for the Nosferatu, trying to get a little bit of heal off. That was interesting. With the way Steelix was positioned, I think he was afraid to drop his shield there. But, and right now, like, Steelix is, like, slowly bringing this back. ZeroTwoNone teching in despite being on the edge of the platform, only giving Steelix plenty of room to react. Great use of the shield from Steelix, and making sure he won't die to any back airs. But the back throw throwing Steelix off stage. Back throw is, of course, a kill move, but not enough to take it out from the center stage. It's not Incineroar or Dr. Mario. And right now, you're going to see both of them play so patiently because nobody wants to be knocked off stage. This is right now ZeroTwoNone's stock to take, reading the neutral get up with the, or maybe the jump down, and that's going to be it. ZeroTwoNone dropping his lead, Steelix laughing it off, able to get, you know, able to get the really, really, like, you know, classic bread and butter from Robin, which is just the Arc Fire into a forward air. Or an Arc Fire into another Arc Fire, potentially. Regardless, going into Game 3, I don't know. If I were ZeroTwoNone, I would personally go back to Zelda, be a little bit more comfortable, because that is, of course, his main. But I think they're gonna run it back to the Robin Ditto. But no, actually, that was a complete lie. ZeroTwoNone opting going to go back for Zelda. he's going to overcome his fears of this matchup that he really doesn't like and going to be trying his best. Opting for, I believe this is Smashville, yes, a really, really small stage, not allowing Robin to set up what Robin wants to do. And so right now, regardless, right now, I think definitely the challenge here is that Steelix cannot contest Phantom as he did with ZeroTwoNone's Arc Fires in the last game with his own. So Phantom is definitely going to be a really, really big issue in this matchup right now. But if ZeroTwoNone can just play back, play really, really patiently, and then just start like really like getting down to it on a ledge trapping scenario. Well, regardless, right now, another up B. Like, that's something you have to be always like conscious of when you're fighting Zelda, but the Phantom able to scoop him up. ZeroTwoNone had a very convincing lead right now at 70. Well, no longer so convincing. I love that reflector, forcing Steelix to play back a little bit more. I think he was trying to lead maybe a roll in, because that forward was definitely a little bit of a strange hit, but I want to say. But you cannot sleep on Phantom, especially if you've held on for so long. Phantom has multiple hitboxes, but definitely something to look out for is Phantom 4 and 5 when he swings downwards and then he scoops up, because both of those will hit you when you're hanging on ledge. You know, Steelix right now is like being really, really patient with the shield, really great usage there, making sure ZeroTwoNone isn't getting any funny business off with Nairu's love there. I love the run-up neutral B, just because it covered so many different options. It covered a goal-in, it covered an approach, it covered everything except a runaway all the way to the ledge. Regardless, ZeroTwoNone is now up 2 stocks to 1. And the up air not enough to take it quite yet. Right now, ZeroTwoNone regrab. This is very, very dangerous. But yep, just as I foretold, he was definitely not at a distance where a beefy up B could have stuffed him out for trying to go through that down smash there. He almost got the soft down air, hence Zelda's soft down air is maybe just as menacing as her sweet spotted one, just because it still pushes you downwards, it still puts you down, and it can confirm into another down air at the right percents too, which is particularly menacing. And right now, like, ZeroTwoNone is just calling out Steelix on these overcommitments to the Arc Fire. I don't know what that was. ZeroTwoNone is... Well, regardless, right now, ZeroTwoNone definitely has a setup. And the back throw, not enough to take it quite yet. Maybe need another 20 more %, but it is staled right now. And that's exactly what I meant by the soft down air being so particularly menacing, and the up air's giant hitbox able to close out the stock and the game. A super, super convincing 2-1 from ZeroTwoNone. I think him switching to Robin was, you know, him switching to Robin was just the read on Steelix, switching off of Falco, knowing that he does also play Robin as well, and feeling that Zelda maybe isn't too good in this matchup. But I love the way that ZeroTwoNone treated this matchup with Zelda right now. He wasn't being too aggressive on Robin's shield with those up Bs. That's a problem that ZeroTwoNone definitely had. I believe for quite some time he would up B directly onto his shield.